I'm Rich Carroll. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow you. Boston Whaler's opening in Flagler County will bring hundreds of new jobs. Amy Cherry has more.
The company, which moved into the former Sea Ray manufacturing site, announced at its ribbon cutting in Flagler Beach Friday that it plans to hire 300 people in the next year. Palm Coast mayoral candidate David Alfin says as candidates and ultimately mayor, they have an obligation to help Boston Whaler be successful. Plus, he says this business's success will signal to other businesses that Flagler County is a good place to be.
This business, it will beget other businesses. When people see that we are doing well, others will come. But you have to get started. So we have to break out of that mindset from the past that, hey, there's a problem here. We're not business friendly. This is the first step. And if we use it well, it will attract and be a magnet for other business.
Mayoral candidate Alan Lowe agreed with those sentiments, but says the county also needs to focus on its industrial parks and ensure that infrastructure helps existing businesses.
We have the industrial park out on Hargrove. We have a railroad spur at the end of that is currently feeding, I think it's Sunbelt Chemicals. We should be able to tie into that, bring it down a little bit. And, Boston Whaler was just talking about needing materials brought in. We have the ability here to bring in large materials by rail if we put a little bit of work into the infrastructure to bring a railroad spur in there.
Lowe also wants to see a shift in the tax burden, putting more on businesses than residents. Alfin and Lowe both jumped into the mayor's race not long after Mayor Melissa Holland announced last week that she'd be stepping down to care for her daughter, who faces significant health challenges. A few other names have also jumped in the race. A special election is scheduled for July 27th.
And with more on those jobs being offered by Boston Whaler, here's Deb Albertson.
Boston Whaler said several months ago that they'd bring jobs back to Flagler Beach that Sea Ray took when they left the area. Julia is the Human Resources Director for Boston Whaler.
From now until quarter one of 2022, we're looking at hiring 300 employees. Currently, we have about 50 employees are training at our Edgewater location, and we have the rest of the employees here really just getting the facility up and running, making sure that it's a great place for our employees to join and that everything's running smoothly.
She said the company is looking for assemblers, laminators, trim and grind, finishers, and others.
They can go to www.bostonwhaler.com/careers. We'll also be at Freedom Fest on July 3rd, and so you can come up and speak with me and we can talk about those jobs.
Anybody who wants to can talk to Julia then. You can listen to the full interview when you download the Flagler Radio app and then go to the Free for All Friday podcast. Tomorrow, what changes will Boston Whaler make to the old Sea Ray plant? From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
Progress continues to be made in Flagler County toward the goal of achieving herd immunity against COVID-19. Flagler Medical Director Dr. Stephen Bickle says the case numbers for Flagler County are fairly low at about where they were last spring.
The hospitalization numbers are down. Pushing people to get vaccinated, it's a really strong protection you get when you do that and peace of mind, but everything's looking good. I think we're experiencing a level of herd immunity. People talk about herd immunity, what it means and all that, but it's a gradual thing, and we're definitely experiencing some of it. It's having a substantial impact. So things are looking up. I think the summer is going to get better and better.
Meanwhile, Health Department Public Information Officer Gretchen Smith says they will continue their clinics this week.
This week we start, we're getting Pfizer in on Monday, and we'll be hosting vaccine clinics at our office from 4:30 to 6:30 on Tuesdays and Wednesdays so that we can vaccinate people ages 12 and up, Pfizer only. And then on Thursday nights, we're going to be at the tax collector's office in Flagler Beach, and that's going to be from 4:30 to 6:30, and that's going to be a Moderna.
And as always, she says all of those details are available online at flagler.floridahealth.gov/events. A road rage incident turns even uglier in Palm Coast. Karen Johnson explains.
Recently, the Flagler County Sheriff's Office responded to a call about a road rage incident that turned physical between a motorcyclist and another driver in the area of Pony Express Drive and Ponce de Leon Drive in Palm Coast. According to Sheriff Rick Staley, the victim stated that he was traveling on his motorcycle on Ponce de Leon Drive when he sped past a vehicle traveling in the oncoming direction. The driver of the vehicle, 70-year-old William Markert, raised his hands and yelled out the window, making hand gestures for the motorcyclist to slow his speed. The victim stated that he then stopped and parked his motorcycle behind Markert's vehicle and aggressively moved towards the victim. The victim told deputies that Markert pushed him 3 times before the victim struck him in self-defense and a fight broke out. After a brief struggle, the victim left the scene on his motorcycle. Sheriff Rick Staley.
This could have been totally avoided if both people did not lose their temper and engage. It is not appropriate for private citizens to try to enforce traffic violations or perceived traffic violations.
If you see someone doing something illegal on the road or driving in an unsafe manner, he says don't take it upon yourself to correct the situation.
Call us. Don't take the law into your own hands. This incident could have ended much differently with serious injuries or a death.
Markert was arrested and transported to the Sheriff Perry Hall Inmate Detention Facility and was released on a pretrial agreement. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.